There's one question that separates the people who stay stuck from the people who break out of the loop. It's not about money. It's not about grinding harder or budgeting or discipline. I'm going to give you that question at the end of this video, but I have to warn you, if I handed it to you right now, it would be useless. It'd sound like a quote on a Pinterest board. The question only works after you see what's actually been running your life. So here's the deal. For the next 30 minutes, I'm going to show you the 4 stages of waking up inside a system that was built to keep you exactly where you are. And by the time we hit the last stage, that one question is going to hit different. It's going to land in your body like a save point you didn't know you'd been missing. Most people are going to click off before we get there. They'll stay NPCs. That's fine. The game is designed for most people to stay NPCs. If you're not most people, stay. You know what an NPC is? Non-player character. The characters in a game who aren't controlled by anyone. They walk the same path every day. They say the same 3 lines every time you talk to them. They stand in the same spot for the entire game, repeating the same loop, completely unaware that a whole world is happening around them that they will never touch. Here's the uncomfortable part. Most people are living exactly like that, with money, with their entire lives. Same route to the same job, same anxiety when the same bills hit, same story in their head. This is just how it is for someone like me. Same loop, same dialogue, same respawn point every single morning, and they think it's them. They think this is just their personality, their luck, their lot in life. It's not you, it's the default settings. Let me be specific about what I mean. The reason you struggle with money has almost nothing to do with your budget. It has nothing to do with your income, your job, the economy. Those things are real, but they're not the root. The root is the code you're running. The beliefs about money that got installed in you before you were old enough to say no, that money is scarce, that it's hard, that it flows to certain types of people and not to you. That wanting more of it makes you greedy or fake or spiritually broken. You didn't write that code, it was installed by people who were also NPCs, your parents, who were running the loop their parents installed. By a culture that worships money out loud and shames you for wanting it in private. By systems that need most people to stay farming, stay compliant, stay convinced the game is fair, and they just rolled a bad character. And here's where it gets dark, and where this channel goes that no one else does. Somebody benefits from you staying an NPC. In the old Gnostic texts, there were entities called archons, the architects of a false world, designed to keep human beings asleep, farming energy for a system that fed on them. I'm not asking you to believe that literally, but hold the shape of the idea. A game designed by something that needs you to never look up, that needs you running the loop, generating value you never get to keep, never realizing you were holding the controller the entire time. That's what scarcity is. It's not a fact about the world. It's the difficulty setting somebody chose for you. This video is about taking the controller back, not a mindset hack, not 5 steps to a millionaire morning, a complete rewrite of how you play. But waking up is only stage 1. There are 4. And the third one, the one almost nobody talks about, is the reason most people who wake up still end up right back in the loop. We'll get there. Every transformation runs through 4 stages. The old esoteric traditions knew this. They just used dead languages to describe it. Let me give it to you in a language you actually think in. Stage 1, NPC Mode. This is where almost everyone lives without knowing it. NPC Mode is the loop. It's checking your account and feeling the same drop in your stomach. It's avoiding that feeling by not checking at all. It's making money and somehow ending up in the exact same place 6 months later, like the game reset you to the same room. NPC Mode isn't your fault. The code was installed before you could consent, but it is your responsibility now because you're the only one who can notice it. And that's the trap. People stay in NPC mode for decades and call it being realistic. They think the loop is just adulthood. It isn't. It's stage 1 of 4. And there's a way out, but you can't skip the next door. T. Stage 2, the glitch. The glitch is the moment the loop breaks for a second and you see it. You catch yourself mid-script. You notice the same thought you've had 10,000 times. I can't afford that. That's not for me. People like me don't. And for the first time, you hear it as code instead of truth. You see the seams. You realize the wall you've been walking into your whole life was never a wall. It was a setting. That's the glitch. The screen cracks, the world flickers, and you can't unsee it. The stage feels strange, sometimes it even feels like grief, because you're mourning the story you built your whole identity on. But that grief is the system loosening its grip. Here's the danger though. Most people stop right here. They get the glitch, they feel the rush of finally seeing it, and they mistake seeing the code for changing the code. It's not. Awareness is just the screen cracking. What you do next is the stage almost nobody talks about.
Stage 3, the reroll. This is the stage every guru skips. This is the one this channel was built for. In a game, a reroll is when you rebuild your character. New stats, new build, a different way of moving through the same world. The reroll is the part where you stop being someone trying to change and start being someone different before the rewards show up, before the bank account changes, before anyone claps. This is the grind nobody films because it's not glamorous. It's the quiet, daily, cellular work of acting from the new character before the old character's evidence has caught up. It's choosing the response your future self would make in a moment where your old self is screaming to do what it's always done. Most people quit here because the rewards lag the work. They re-roll for 3 days, see no loot, and respawn back into NPC mode. The ones who make it through the re-roll are the ones who understand. You don't change because you got results. You get results because you changed first. Get through this stage, and something happens that looks like cheating to everyone watching you. It's not cheating. It's the final stage. It's where this whole video has been pointing. Stage 4, main character mode. This is it. This is the game on a difficulty setting nobody told you existed. Main character mode isn't arrogance. It's not the universe revolves around me. It's an operating state. The state where you're so aligned, so deliberate, so done running the default code that the world starts bending toward you instead of against you. Your conversations turn into opportunities. Your attention turns into value. Your decisions compound in ways that make people ask if you got lucky. You didn't get lucky. You finished the work that the NPCs never start. And here's the part that should give you chills. In the old texts, the completed work created something that could transform anything it touched. In your life, that's you. When you've broken the loop, you become someone whose presence changes the games of everyone around you. You stop being a character in someone else's world. You become the player. That's where we're going. Now let me show you how you actually play. How you play differently every single day. Here's where every video like this fails you. It hands you the philosophy and sends you home to think about it. It inspires you for 3 days and evaporates the second rent is due. I'm not doing that. Philosophy you can't use is just decoration. So here are the actual controls. Burn these into your hands. Control 1. Every transaction is a move. Stop making them on autopilot. Every time you spend, receive, or make a decision about money, you're making a move in the game. And NPCs make every move on autopilot, spending from boredom, receiving with guilt, deciding from the scarcity code they inherited. Players don't do that. When you pay a bill, you don't pay it from fear or resentment. You pay it as someone who has the power to meet what they committed to, because that's the character you're playing now. The energy behind the move rewires what your body associates with money leaving. When money comes in, a paycheck, a sale, a gift, you actually register it. You don't instantly mentally throw it at a debt and feel nothing. You let it land. You note internally, this is what happens when I show up. That's not affirmation theater. That's you retraining your nervous system one move at a time. Control 2. Your attention is the camera. Point it on purpose. In a game, you control the camera. Where you point it is what you see. Your attention works the exact same way. And this isn't woo. It's how your brain is built. It's a filter. Whatever you point it at, it shows you more of. Point it at lack, what you don't have, what you might lose, what could go wrong, and your brain literally edits opportunity out of the frame. Not because it isn't there, because you trained the camera to skip it. So here's the daily control. Every morning, before you touch your phone, before you check your accounts, before you let the world hand you a quest, you spend 5 minutes pointing the camera on purpose. Not affirmations, not a vision board, your evidence file. The actual proof you can generate value. Every sale you ever made, every skill you built, every obstacle you cleared, every time you showed up and something good happened because of it. You're not lying to yourself, you're calibrating the camera before you play. Scarcity can't survive contact with your real track record. It only survives when you forget your wins and replay your losses on a loop. Control 3. Stop farming, start building. This is the control that separates a player from an NPC permanently. Most people think money is the thing you trade your hours for. Time in, money out. That's farming. And farming has a hard ceiling. There are only so many hours, and the system set the rate. A player understands that value is crafted, not farmed. Your idea has value. Your perspective has value. Your skill, aimed at the right person at the right moment, is worth more than any hours for dollars math can hold. So every day you ask one question: what did I build today that could serve someone? Not what did you complete? Not what did you grind out for someone else's metrics? What did you build in any form that can make someone's life better? Answer that consistently. Connect what you build to the people who need it, and you walk off the farm for good. Building has no ceiling. Control 4. Clean your inventory. A player can't move through the world with a chaotic, ignored inventory. Your financial environment, the accounts, the debts, the subscriptions, the obligations, that's your inventory. If it's a mess you avoid looking at, it'll fight every upgrade you try to make. This week, not someday, this week, you take 1 hour and face the whole thing. Every number, no looking away. You see the inventory exactly as it is, no shame attached. Then you make one move. One thing you simplify, clear, or clean up. Not all of it. 1. You're building a relationship with your resources instead of managing them from across the room with your eyes closed. Do this for a week and you'll feel the shift. Do it for 10 years and it builds something most people never get to see. Let me show you what that actually looks like. What 10 years of playing this way actually builds. Think long. Not 90 days, not this year, a decade. Imagine playing this way. Not perfectly, not without dying and respawning a few times, but consistently for 10 years. What does it actually build? First, the material reality changes, not as magic, as math. 10 years of decisions made from clarity instead of fear compound into a different life the same way a few degrees of direction change where a ship lands an ocean away. It's not the universe deciding to finally like you, it's arithmetic. Picture it, 5 years in. You open your banking app, and the old drop in your stomach, the one from the start of this video, it's just gone. Not because the number is huge, because you stopped bracing. You check it like you'd check the weather, calm, in relationship with it instead of afraid of it. That one change, the absence of dread in a 30-second moment you repeat 1,000 times a year, that is what compounds into a different life. But the bigger shift isn't material. When you stop playing from scarcity, you become a different presence in every room. You stop fighting over a piece of a pie you think is fixed. You start seeing the pie as something you can make bigger, because you finally understand value is built, not divided. That turns you from a competitor into a collaborator. And collaborators build things competitors never can. And then there's the part I really want you to sit with. NPC behavior is contagious. Scarcity spreads through how people talk, how they flinch, what they unconsciously model for everyone watching them. Kids absorb it, friends absorb it, whole families respawn the same loop for generations. But main character energy is contagious too. When you live as someone who builds value on purpose, who plays every move awake, who operates like the controller was always in your hands, the people near you start playing differently. You become a glitch in their loop, the good kind, the kind that wakes people up. That's the real end game, not a number. The power to wake up everyone you touch. Which brings us back to the question I promised you at the very start. You're ready for it now. You stop fighting over a piece of a pie you think is fixed. You start seeing the pie as something you can make bigger, because you finally understand value is built, not divided. That turns you from a competitor into a collaborator. And collaborators build things competitors never can. And then there's the part I really want you to sit with. NPC behavior is contagious. Scarcity spreads through how people talk, how they flinch, what they unconsciously model for everyone watching them. Kids absorb it, friends absorb it, whole families respawn the same loop for generations. But main character energy is contagious too. When you live as someone who builds value on purpose, who plays every move awake, who operates like the controller was always in your hands, the people near you start playing differently. You become a glitch in their loop, the good kind, the kind that wakes people up. That's the real end game, not a number. the power to wake up everyone you touch. Which brings us back to the question I promised you at the very start. You're ready for it now. So here's your move. Starting tomorrow, before you make any financial decision, before you spend, before you receive, before you choose, you pause and you ask one question. Am I making this move as the character I've been or the one I'm becoming? That pause is the crack in the loop. NPCs make every move from who they've been, the default character, the scarcity build, the version of you that got shaped by every fear and every lack you absorbed before you could evaluate any of it. A player makes the move from who they're becoming, from the end game, from main character mode, from the version of you that already broke the loop and looks back at this exact moment as the save point where everything changed. That's not delusion, that's building your character on purpose, and it's the most practical thing I can hand you. You were told money is scarce. You were told wealth is for other people. You were told wanting more makes you greedy. You were told the responsible move is to shrink. That's the code. And it's not true. The truth is, you're a living system that can generate, attract, and direct value in a world overflowing with it. The truth is, your attention, your intention, your ability to build, that's the most powerful tool in the entire game. The truth is, every single day you play from scarcity is a day you're running somebody else's code in your own head. Breaking the loop is taking your mind back, move by move, decision by decision, morning by morning, year by year. One last thing, nobody ever broke the loop by accident. Nobody stumbled into main character mode. They did it by going through all 4 stages on purpose, by facing NPC mode with honesty, by letting the glitch crack the screen, by grinding the reroll when there were no rewards yet, and by stepping into the end game without apologizing for it. There's no shortcut, no cheat code, no version where this happens to you. You do it every day on purpose, awake, holding the controller you were always holding. You are not a character in someone else's game. This is your save file, and it's your move. If this cracked something open in you, do one thing before you go. Drop player 1 in the comments. That's your signal that you're done playing as an NPC. I read every single one, and I want to know this one landed. Subscribe if you're not already, and send this to one person stuck in the loop, because waking up is contagious, and the person you send it to might be one video away from pressing start. The next one goes deep on the reroll, the stage everyone skips. If you want to know how to become the character before the rewards show up, that's the one you watch next. Until then, press start.